Do you hear that? That's the beat of Robobeat, a pretty fast-paced, wall-running, double-jumping rhythm first-person shooter that takes a lot of inspiration from the likes of your traditional roguelike first-person shooter games and blends it with some ultra-kill action and combos. We get to play as Ace, a bounty hunter on a mission to capture robot gun rogue Frazzer in his ever-shifting lair. Did I get you hooked? Good. Now the guy talking right here is no other than Slim. Slim from Sweden, the daddiest dad of them all, who loves indie games and who loves even more to show you the best and violent ones. And today's focus, as you might have guessed it, is Robobeat, that released into early access on the 14th of May and is being developed by one guy called Simon Fredholm. And that truly sounds like a fellow Swede, to be honest. And it's being published by Quality Gaming. Now let's go! So the game starts you with a beautiful cutscene that really sets the mood and tone of the game in a great way, but it doesn't really explain much, it just looks beautiful. And right after, we're thrust into this rather good tutorial. It's a needed one, so don't skip it. However, it could have included even more things. There were a lot of question marks from my side when playing, a lot of trial and error before I started to understand this or that mechanic, or shop for that matter, which did get pretty frustrating, and I don't like feeling stupid when playing video games, so include more stuff that is needed in your tutorial. Don't be afraid to do that. And don't get me wrong here, I like that the game tries a lot of different things, like different stores, different abilities, different mechanics and all that good stuff, but they all need explaining. I was just a big question mark when something new was introduced to me, because there was no explanation as to what it was. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the tutorial, but it needs to have a small explanation when I first encounter it. Luckily, you won't be spending the majority of the time in shops, because right after the tutorial, you enter this pretty sick-looking hub world. In here is where you get to breathe after you died. This is the spot you return to after each run. The place overall, it has a pretty sweet aesthetic to it, some cool boards that shows you unlocked weapons, skills and combos that you have performed. But it lacks any form of life to it. There's really no one to interact with, nothing that makes it feels like a place to just chill for a moment in. And those factors to me are quite important in a hub world. I don't care what type of game it is, the hub, they need to feel comfy in a way for me to enjoy being in there. Just empty grey rooms ain't gonna cut it for me. But I did say that the aesthetics are nice, and I mean it, but not in a comfortable I want to spend a few minutes looking around and breathing in here way, more in a oh shit I would like to slay something here. There is however one mechanic to the game that can turn any boring place into a disco of joy, and that is the game's music. You collect more and more music as you go, and there is no set song that you must listen to. You can change track or import your own music at any given time. And some really good friends of mine over at Dark Twin Productions, well, they have crafted some of the banger tracks for the game, like the ones that you've been hearing in this review. So I do actually recommend to at least give the songs in the game a spin before importing your own music. You will find some banger tunes in there to slay the wicked robots in this game with. I think it's robots at least. Let's have a closer look at the heart of the game, shall we? The enemies, the combat, the level design, the movement, the guns and abilities, the actual heart of the game. The gameplay. It's pretty good. It's pretty good in this game, especially the combat and movement. That is what really sticks out to me. Now in the first episode that is out now, it has you going through 4 different levels, each filled with a couple of arenas. In each arena, you have to fight off hordes of enemies to eventually unlock the next one. And I mean, it works well in a roguelike, and there are enough things happening in between each arena, like finding new weapons, looking for secrets and such to keep you entertained and motivated to push further. However, a weakness to the game is its enemies. They are simply too bland, too generic and quite uninspiring, rocking one color each and little to no detail to them. And in all honesty, the same thing goes for the arenas. They are all in more or less the exact same tone and color palette as the hub area, with very little environmental detail and storytelling, which feels like a really missed opportunity here. They do, however, offer some nice rails and walls to run on, but to do that you have to master the game's controls. And to master it takes a lot of practice and skill, but to simply get the hang of it, Doesn't require too much, if you weren't trying to shoot to the beat and wall run and grind all at the same time, that is. I mean, honestly, holy macaronis, my brain just overloads just thinking about shooting to the beat, wall running, double jumping, sliding, avoiding projectiles and shooting at the enemies is simply too much for this old brain. The game is on the easier side though, so simply double jumping or sliding here and there will get you through it. And with all of that said, let's take a look at how a combat encounter can look like. Groovy. I don't know how much it... Okay, yeah, we are getting different arenas depending on which door we actually choose. What? Oh, that was perfect. That was perfect. Groovy clear. Overall, the game is a fun experience with some really wacky weapons. It does do some things really great, like its movement, combat system, and especially more advanced mechanics for the more advanced player, but I feel like it misses its target of playing a little more unsafe with the environments and enemies. I feel like it settled on something that looks cool and just ran with that throughout the whole of episode 1. If someone were to ask me if I entered level 1 or 4, I would have no idea to tell because they all look way too similar, including the enemies. The weapons on the other hand both look and feel unique and fun to mess around with, and the rhythmic part of it, well, it works as intended. It adds another layer to the game, one that some loves and others hate, and definitely one that takes a bit of time to master. Overall, the game nails what it sets out to do, and that is to build a rhythmic movement shooter. But it doesn't go wild and crazy enough. It feels like it's teasing you with that wild and crazy, but never really goes to it. Okay, I'm missing the beat now. Now I'm getting completely unfocused here. There we go, tone deaf clear. I just want to give a humongous shout out to all my members. You guys absolutely freaking rock and you mean the world to me. And thank you to everyone for watching this video all the way to the end. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and join the Discord for even more bangers every single day. Slim, over and out.